Hello, hello, beautiful person watching this. I am so happy that you're here. Welcome back to another Slay the Spire Ascension 20 Ironclad run. On this channel, I open my recorded wins with some commentary and general discussion about this beautiful game that we play. A pretty spicy run here. Kind of escalates pretty quickly at a certain point. So, stay tuned. Having a look. Obtain 100 gold and lose all gold for remove 2 are pretty good. I haven't been loving remove 2 as Ironclad lately. Doesn't immediately give you power. Really. Defect, for example, is, I would say, stronger right out the gate without 1 strike, 1 defend, just because you can draw Zap Dual Cast more often, but drawing Bash more often is not that important, really. That's only the 1 card anyway. Something about it doesn't quite feel good to me anyway. So take the 100 gold. And this Jawworm is very rude. Have 2 strikes coming up here, and I was just not interested in messing around with this Jawworm. I take 12. And it is hitting me for 17. I would have had the triple defend, take 2, and then it could have been awkward after that, so fair enough. And I take drop kick here, back to my 3 months ago stuff. Drop kick with no vulnerable yet is a bit questionable over a sword boomerang, but I think the drop kick will be better later. And it's fine. I'm willing to deal with it. And this is brutal, 23 health. The only card that's not a basic card in my deck is drop kick. So upgrade 2 basics to lose half my life is actually kind of brutal. Half my current life. And an interesting shop here. I just died last run with a floor 0 secret weapon from the get a colorless card, rare colorless card. And then I also happened to astral leap into flex and fire breathing and lost. And then this shop has all 3 of those cards. Very funny. So there's a pellets here, and orange pellets says whenever you play a power skill and attack in the same turn, you will cleanse all debuffs. And that's pretty cool. There's also a flex here, and notably if you play flex and then proc orange pellets, you will remove the strength minus debuff. Therefore, flex becomes 0 energy to gain 2 or force strength permanently for that whole fight. And that's a pretty good combo. The problem is, we have no powers in our deck. If I wanted to add a power, I'd have to buy this fire breathing, which is absolutely disgusting. There's no way I'm clicking that. So, still interested in the pellets for later. But flex is just not quite clickable right now. It costs 60 gold and just not good. And I even consider clicking rampage for 80 gold, which is absolutely disgusting. But I'm about to possibly kill an elite. And I have 2 hallway fights to get it together here, because currently doing almost no damage. And Heavy Blade versus Sever Soul, or first Wild Strike, but Wild Strike is trash, unfortunately. And Sever Soul is not amazing, especially at this point, but it is 2 energy, deals 16, and upgrades to 22. So take that. It's pretty interesting. Drop kick better than sword boomerang there. Very cool. Score 1. And I'm 1 off here, sadly, with strike Sever Souls. Gotta play the defend first. So the hallway fights aren't going particularly well. We also found a Thunderclap, which we can play alongside our Sever Soul for a lot of damage, or activate drop kick more reliably. Gonna use both potions here. Regen potion, as long as you can get the full 15 out of it, is pretty much always worth it. Unless you're about to get out of the act and can hang on to it, perhaps. And this was a mistake. I already had lethal with the vulnerable on the right one there, but I played the drop kick, which reshuffled my deck without Sever Soul in it, because I had it in my hand. If you have 0 cards in your draw pile, and you are about to draw a card, you should heavily consider what that actually means for you. This enemy happens to shuffle in a lot of debuffs into your deck, and so every missing card from that draw pile can be brutal. It's going to be so long until you find it again. Definitely a significant mistake there. We find Sharon's Ashes. Every time we exhaust a card, we will deal 3 damage to all enemies. It's very exciting. And I do find a flex for free this time. It's still a bit early, but gotta find some powers and we're good. And taking 7 here is actually brutal. I should have removed Strike here also. I was thinking, okay, I really need this damage. I just took a flex. But it turns out that the Sever Soul exhausting the skills is going to be more relevant. I probably didn't need to remove Defend there. Seemed reasonable for the immediate future, but of course removing Strike is better in general anyway. Having the defense is better because they tend to be more useful. They go with Corruption, Dark Embrace, Funnel Pain stuff, and also enemies deal less damage to you than you need to deal to them, and therefore Strike and Defend being roughly the same number means that Defend scales better, even without Dexterity being involved or whatever. It's still not a good card, obviously, but it gets there a bit, where Strike is just absolutely trash at some point. Create a Shockwave. I'm interested in having the enemy be weakened or vulnerable the entire fight. And we got Loggable in here, which is great. We've got to weaken this guy for 5 turns. Consider Power Potion, but I want to save that for Slime Boss. And importantly, it's also a Orange Pellets proc. My only way to do so. So if I play it alongside my Flex, then I can permanently gain 4 strength against Slime Boss, and that could be very important. But take 15. Ouch. But not really blocking yet. Oh, it did find triple defend there. Pretty lucky. It's all my defense. I find a Vajra, giving us 1 permanent strength. We also apparently found a Mercury Hourglass, dealing 3 damage to all enemies at the start of each turn. And a Power Through is here. A huge block card, and it goes well with our Sever Soul. We can Power Through Sever Soul, which will create some wounds that then can get exhausted by the Sever Soul, which actually already matters because we have the Ashes, dealing an extra 6 damage with that. And hoping to find like an Evolve now, perhaps, for this Power Through. Or a Medkit would be great, of course. Upgrade the Power Through. I want to have that block. It's like my only way to block, pretty much. And there's our Flex in Power Potion. I see the line. Isn't that beautiful? And Berserk is here, and notably Slime Boss doesn't attack you for 3 turns. The other options aren't amazing. Juggernaut's here. But I'd probably rather have 1 energy a turn. If I can play these slimes comfortably, then can more reliably have decent draws, and they also do 3 damage each. Not too bad. And a very awkward draw here. One of Shockwave or Power Through has to go here if I want to play this Sever Soul. And it will split. I'm doing a lot of damage here. And I would love to have Shockwave for, you know, when they split into 2 and I can play on both of them. But seems that make the wounds to deal an extra 6. It's already vulnerable, importantly. Otherwise I would have had to play Shockwave probably. But a decent split despite having a lot of health and only playing like 1 attack. Kind of crazy. And the Sender's Bane plus the Slimed plus Sharon's Ashes are going to kill the left one there for us. And we can get there against this guy as well. Huge. So, very good fight. And a Blood Potion will give some healing. And Brutality is here. It's a 0-cost power for our Orange Pellets. So, despite me normally not being a big Brutality enjoyer, definitely pretty good here. And some disgusting looking relics here, unfortunately. Ectoplasm, in case you didn't know, is complete trash. WoW is not being able to gain gold bad. It's actually so bad. There are several events that give you gold. Those are all bad now. There's shops that are very powerful and really good way of scaling that you can't use anymore, essentially. Some events ask you to spend gold at them. Also bad now. And, notably, in Act 2, one of the first fights can be looters, which will steal your money. And even if you kill them, you can't get it back, because you cannot obtain gold anymore. So basically, err on the side of never clicking Ectoplasm, and you will win more often. and take a bell after all. Get the boot, which will... spoilers, the boot does 3 damage the entire run. That's what it does. Then there is Meat on the Bone, actually single-handedly making that an excellent calling bell, giving us 12 health whenever we end a fight with half health or less. So we actually wanted to take 1 right here. I could have killed the right one there, but I wanted to take 1. I took 2 actually, but best I could do to actually heal myself for 12 more. And I see the line, Ascender's Bane's my hand, so it's going to kill them both. And a Warcry Plus is here. It's a great card with Sharon's Ashes. And I have these Wing Boots, which I haven't mentioned yet, which will allow us to take any path we want. As long as it's the next floor, we can go to any of them on the map, not just the one that we're connected to already. And so considering my options here, a lot of choices. There's Flex. So we are, in fact, doing the Flex Orange Pellets thing already, which is pretty cool. It's like the only thing that we're doing. Pretty much. Sharon's Ashes is also a large part of what I'm doing. I should play 1 defend here. This is a mistake as well, I remember this. Should have just played 1 defend. It was only 3. It's frailed. But still should have played 1 defend. So it could be at 40 right now. And Whirlwind is here. Also Metallicize is here. Metallicize is a good block card. And also, notably, another power for Orange Pellets. And we get a Lantern. On turn 1, we will gain an additional energy of each fight. And ouch. Curse of the Bell. And then oops, all defends. That's all of my defense. So a bit scary. No skill here to get rid of, well, Frail, sadly, the Orange Pellets. And you may be wondering, why don't I drink this blood potion? There are a few reasons. Essentially, it's the same as true with fruit juice as well, gaining you 5 max health. There are multiple reasons to hold on to it. They're all just mainly optimization things. It's actually, there's more reasons with fruit juice because it interacts with your max health. But mostly with this, it's, you know, if we use it too early, then perhaps, let's say we happen to end a fight at like 40 health after drinking blood potion, we actually missed 12 health from Meat on the Bone there. So we played as late as possible, which will allow Meat on the Bone to gain as much health as possible, essentially. Unless we find another potion, and then we can, of course, drink it and take the good potion. But none here, so move on. And we did find a Whirlwind this time, and still need more damage. Gonna upgrade that, of course. Have Slavers to deal with, and Gremlin Leader. Happen to find neither of those, though. So, use a potion here. Then if I find a potion here, I can still hold on to the blood potion a bit longer. And to continue the point about the fruit juice thing, in case you're not familiar, some events interact with your max health. They will cost you, let's say, half your max health, apparitions, for example. And therefore, if you drink the blood potion and then find that event, you're actually losing more max health than you otherwise would have if you just held it. Also, you could find a toy ornithopter or something like that, so you missed 5 current health then. And so, it just essentially, you never know what could happen, something that could make it even better to drink it later. And therefore, worth holding on to unless you, A, find another potion, B, are about to rest, or C, are about to die. Those are when you should drink the potion. And luckily getting through here on the back of a Heart of Iron, it looks like. And find a Gambling Chip, which will allow us to essentially mulligan our hand like Hearthstone. You can choose any number of cards in your opening hand and discard them, and then redraw a card for each one. And that's an extremely strong relic. It's also a rare, so if you see it in a shop, probably can't buy it. So it's an unusual one to have on your relic bar. And it's also one of the best relics for sure, in almost any run. So I actually decided to jump across here. Definitely very scary. But with the Meal on the Bone and the Blood Potion and the Draw Potion, I should be fine, hopefully. I have a Whirlwind. So I'd love to hit this Flex with Havoc, actually. Don't get there, though. And I have a... So I actually mess up here because I looked at my hand and was like, oh, I thought I had Ascender's Bane. So if I'd played Whirlwind for 4, it would have done exactly 36, and then the Right Slaver would have died to the Ascender's Bane for the last 3. But I looked at my hand, I was like, oh, that's actually Curse of the Bell. It's not Ascender's Bane. And then I looked again, I was like, wait a second, I do have Ascender's Bane. So it's very awkward. Should have just played Whirlwind for 4 instead of this. And now it's a little bit sus because they should be lower health here for sure. Looking like it's going to be fine though. And Meal on the Bone carrying us once again. And we find a Pen Nib. Every 10th attack we play will deal double damage. Pretty good with this Whirlwind, to be sure. And Kunai is here. Definitely an okay relic. If we play 3 attacks in 1 turn, we will gain 1 dexterity. And having a look here, the last elite of the act on the left side there is aligned with the shop. So if I want to shop this act with 390 gold, I have to go to this one to my right here. And then jump back over probably. And my other option is to take a super elite, which is actually kind of spooky. So I click the shop. And here we go. So I snap pick CHEM-X. Of course, I have a Whirlwind in my deck. And then I realize I have enough gold to buy Transmutation, which is not a good card. Boy, is it terrible. But with CHEM-X, you know, suddenly you can just play for 0 and actually get 2 cards, and it's pretty good. And it's also funny and cool and whatever, and something I've never had before in my life. So I click on it, of course. It just, everything lined up, stars aligned, as they say, to have me be able to click that here. And I'm not gonna refuse. I'm no longer refusing the call of the universe. It says, here you go. And I notice, which is not so simple, if you tend to ignore a card because it's in your mind bad nearly always, it can be tough to realize it's actually good in a situation. And I have that problem for sure. Not too afraid of getting dazes here because they exhaust and deal 3 damage, but still not great. And Evolve could be decent, have a power through in our deck. I really wanted some draw, I think. And still, I'm pretty confident because of Meat on the Bone and Blood Potion, I actually upgrade Transmutation with 28 health. And go into the next elite. Another Book of Stabbing. Pretty spooky. And Whirlwind, I need to keep that because I have the thing. CHEM-X. And we get to even do the thing with Flex again. Very nice. So got to keep my strength up to 5 permanent strength. Gotta play power through. And Whirlwind. For 4. CHEM-X. And there's our Transmutation in the flesh. Probably have to play Evolve still, but I might just rip it. And I notably have Pen Nib on 8, so probably thinking about that. I do just rip it. Those are terrible. And so the problem that I found, and feel free to keep track yourself, is that it seems that an insanely high proportion of colorless cards are actually already 0 cost. And so the they cost 0 this turn clause doesn't actually help that often, unfortunately. Like, this was news to me. I've never clicked on this card, I don't think, ever. And I've certainly never, like, gotten to make a bunch of cards with it. I've never had it with CHEM-X, that's for sure. So, it didn't occur to me just how many 0 cost cards it generates. If only the cards were better. Transmutation's existence is probably why the colorless card pool is so bad on average, I would say. Like, imagine you could just transmutation and win every run because you just generate a billion cards, even if it was like without CHEM-X, right? It could be very strong, but it is rare. Like, let them have fun, right? Anyways, found a Molten Egg. That'll upgrade all attacks we add to our deck from now on. And we also find Sentinel card, which will give us some energy when exhausted. Goes pretty good with the Sever Soul thing that we're doing. And exhausting cards with Purity actually pretty good. Yet again. And we finally drink our potion. We found a potion here. And there's a dual wield. The transmutation could generate Flash Steel or Swift Strike, perhaps. Swift Strike plus, Flash Steel plus. And we have a drop kick, so we can possibly think about going infinite, although we have no way to exhaust attack cards in our deck right now. Still good though. And this is an extremely sus champ fight, I have to say. I draw Metallicize with dual wield so I can actually make some Metallicize. I save one, but giving me the option to play dual wield and Metallicize again later. There is a world where you just make infinite Metallicize so that the execute turn just doesn't even damage you at all. But unlikely here, I would say. Probably just going to try to play Flex and kill it. And this is a hard turn. I want to do the Flex thing. So what do I get rid of? And I actually get rid of the Curse, after all. Interested in playing all of these cards. I had to keep the Whirlwind, which is probably the most obvious thing to go. But I could have ditched Shockwave, it seems. So, mistake. I just couldn't decide at the time. I'll deal with it. It already has 14 Metallicize. How did that happen? Incredibly rude. So it's going to be a bit difficult to get through this wall of a champ. And I have Pendant on 9, but I'm weakened. I don't have Whirlwind in my hand, and there's like a Bash in my hand. I have to play that. I only have one vulnerable left. So just rip the Pendant, it's fine. I actually do hit the Metallicize again, that's kind of crazy. And I hit Whirlwind on Havoc, which could be good, but it's also kind of spooky because that's like most of my damage, and it just got exhausted by Havoc. Although I'm not splitting, it is exactly half health, and we have now finally proven concretely that hitting champ to half does not split. It's below half. Could have considered saving Shockwave for phase 2. Although it wasn't weakened, I suppose, so I had the block there. I'm gonna have to survive this turn. We did manage to remove the debuffs, so not vulnerable here, very importantly. It would often be hitting for 66 here. And then we'd be just outright dead, probably, unless Colorless Potion has something to say about it. And I actually do rip it anyway and find Panic Button. I was a bit short, it seems. I think I'm taking exact lethal here. No, I have Metallicize, never mind. But I do find Dark Shackles, and that's great. So, of course, we're not killing this turn. Actually, we are killing this turn. Oops. So, waste of a potion. I found the dual wield line after all. And Barricade, Bludgeon. Those are not it. Barricade was more pickable than I thought. I didn't appreciate that this transmutation was going to be generating me Panic Button so often, which actually makes it pretty good. But I mean, I'm looking at that deck and I'm like, there's no block in here, and that's very awkward. Once again, our energy relic is absolute trash. Sozu sucks. You have weak potion, Essence of Steel. Those are not going to do anything. So I gotta find some new potions there. So I take a pyramid. It's a little bit spooky. We only have 3 energy still, and We don't have bloodletting or anything. We just have one sentinel that we need to exhaust with our Sever Soul to get out. And we notably, you know, have this transmutation thing happening, which is a little bit sad because we need the hand space to make the cards. And so actually looks good, the pyramid, but it's a little bit sus here. Got to find some way to make energy or just struggle through. And Havoc hit Whirlwind there. Very, very nice. So that very spooky looking turn ended up being a turn 1 kill. I actually take Reckless Charge Plus. It costs 0 for our pyramid and shuffles in a Daze into our deck, which will actually deal 3 damage to everything when it exhausts. Not too bad. Mind Blooms here. Definitely need to be able to heal here. I have Meal in the Bone and I'm not that strong. And so Hexaghost is here and we're at full health. And you don't often run into Hexaghost at full health, so you might not know that the damage is increased per current health that you have. It's actually going to hit for 7 times 6 here, which is a lot. And so right here you can see it's actually 5 0-cost cards. There are no discounts here at all. That is 5 genuinely 0-cost cards. And this is when past me realized the same thing. That you can see the realization, like, wait a second. Transmutation does do that, right? It reduces the cards to 0. Doesn't even matter. Anyways, Hexaghost will hit me for 12 or 7 times 6 because it does 1 times 6 plus an additional 1 times 6 per 12 current health that you have. And we did find a Dark Shackles there, which is really good, blocking for 42. Essentially a Piercing Wail. Real good. And I realize I actually have energy there, so Sever Soul is my saving grace here. I can dual wield a Whirlwind. I dual wield Swift Strike instead, I think, but should have done Whirlwind. It's CHEM-X will make it worth using. Didn't matter. And our rare relic is Unseizing Top, sadly. Will draw us a card whenever our hand is empty. And boy is it really hard for me to empty my hand here. So possibly the worst result. Dead Branch may be worse. I would have actually had to skip Dead Branch because I have Pyramid. So second worst result, possibly. And yet again, I want to do the flex thing. It was a little bit sus to add these wounds to my hand, but I have the Sever Soul. And I could even point the Sever Soul at the Spiker. I have enough block. Very nice. Here it is! I play the defend first just in case. And it hits Mind Blast. I could actually play Violence. Didn't play Violence. Didn't have a 0-cost attack anyway, and even if I did, I couldn't. Or I did have a 0-cost attack, but I couldn't play it because I'm taking even more damage from the spikes. Having to reshuffle then play Mind Blast. I actually played the Mind Blast. It's huge. And Rage is here. I may click this Rage. I need block so badly. And I also need 0-cost cards so badly. Yep. Looks like it. It even doesn't even scale with the Kunai, but I still click it. Kunai is basically irrelevant here. And we get the Sensory Stone event as well. There's another Transmutation here. You know I'm clicking that. Is it even good? I don't know. But that's what we're doing. And consider it good Instincts as well. 0-cost, gain some amount of block. With our Kunai and our Pyramid and our really struggling deck. I mean, can you believe this one, right? Like, looking at this draw pile, I mean, my god. CHEM-X Whirlwind and Pen Nib was a big part of it, probably. And I take a Finesse. Harmless card. Could be better with Kunai. Did not mean to do that. Accidentally skipped the gambling chip there. But really good hits here. That's what good hits look like. Apotheosis single-handedly makes that really good. And I play Transmutation now just because might not be able to get the full value out of it later. And so this panic button plus orange pellets combo is pretty amazing. I might have talked about it earlier, but just to say it again, you may panic button and then proc the orange pellets. You can remove the you can no longer gain strength debuff, and therefore it's just a 0 cost impervious. Very cool. So every time we hit panic button with Transmutation, it's actually a massive deal. Even though it costs 0. Normally, if it costs 0, it'd be a bit of a bummer because Transmutation, but it turns out that we can cheat the downside, making it much better than roll. I did do the flex thing yet again, so. Very nice. Just making sure to full block as well as I can. Good Sever Soul. I'm sure I knew I had Whirlwind coming up, yeah. So Whirlwind will do enough damage to block the very last turn here. There we go. The damage output pretty good there. Gotta say. Some trash, sadly. Second Reckless Charge is extremely questionable. Take a Dex pot over a weak pot. You have Shockwave Plus. Gotta go to the Elite, the Burning Elite. Upgrade second Transmutation. Probably. Do I have it in me? Is there even a better upgrade? I'm not sure. Rage, perhaps? Do upgrade Rage after all. Apologies. Should have committed to the bit harder. I was trying to win, though. I think I need the block from Rage. Pretty good hand here. Consider Shockwave as well. I don't have to play it this turn, but I'm gonna want it, right? So I get rid of Dual Wield instead. That makes sense. Ooh, hit the transit. And the cool thing about hitting an X cost card with Havoc is that it actually doesn't spend the mana. Or energy, excuse me. It will play for X, where X is your current mana, so in that case it was 4, but then it's actually 6 because we have CHEM-X. But you don't have to spend the energy on it, and therefore it's a massive high roll. 1 in 22. Looks like second Transmutation gets to get in play as well. Maybe. Getting rid of Panic Button and Transmutation there, pretty questionable. And notably, I got Magnetism and Mayhem confused a couple of times. I think Magnetism is actually bad here. Adding random colorless cards that could be trash into my hand when I have Pyramid is a bit sus. But it's fine. I mean, the Magnetism would sit there all the time, right? Anyway. But, yeah. You can always get rid of the Sever Soul eventually. The Bomb is also a pretty good hit from the thing. I should just play Panic Button here. Also, I should have played it before. There we go. Wow. I proc pellets twice. Pretty cool. So this giant head went, I think, unexpectedly well. I don't think I'm meant to do this good. We found Apotheosis, right? Or did that happen last fight? That was a transient, never mind. But my brain's all over the place. But we find an Armaments Plus, and we have a Pyramid. So all of our non-upgraded cards can get upgraded by that. Pretty good. And also, none of our upgrades are amazing anyway. Transmutation, probably. But other than that, nothing amazing. Evolve normally pretty good, but we don't need that much more card draw. Card draw that relies on us drawing statuses anyway. Take a blue key, of course. And we did find a shuriken. Every time we play 3 attacks in 1 turn, we gained 1 strength. So 2 parts of a ninja now. And almost immediately just rip the double tap whirlwind. But if I can leave these alive till next turn, I can double tap whirlwind a lot bigger. So would love to just chill here. And so our hand sucks. I can actually play Dark Shackles on each minion and block for the full amount. 2 panic button. No, wait, 1 panic button, rather. So I can panic button next turn. And Enlightenment is here. It's absolutely disgusting. It's terrible. Play 1 at least, yeah. Here we go. So Brutality, Flex, and then Panic Button. So I get to remove the Flex debuff and the other debuff, Panic Button, and we just kill it. So wow, what a turn. Reptimancer are normally very scary, but that was absolutely brutal. Second power through is here, but now that we're adding wounds to our deck, or into our hand, and they stay there permanently, it's very awkward, I would say. And sadly get a Maw Bank here. Already forgot what I keyed over Maw Bank, but Maw Bank pretty late here, so it would have probably been better on average. Although we will get a good amount of gold, you know, 60 or so, probably. Upgrade a card. I probably red key here. If I hit something I really want to upgrade later, I would love to be able to. Yeah, considered pretty heavily, but decided to go with the red key there. If I find a card at the very end here, I could upgrade it at the campfire if I want. And if we get this fight, it's actually kind of spooky, but we do have an evolve. And the transmutations have been cooking, and I keep drawing them early as well, which is really good. So that's an actual 8 transmutation there. And find Apotheosis again, my god, it's good. But double Enlightenment, Madness, Good Instincts, Panic Button. Panic Button's good. But you get the idea. A little bit questionable. Bash got the discount from Madness, that's pretty good. Over Armaments. Play the Panic Button. Clear the debuff again. It keeps happening every fight. It's so good. It apparently is just very likely to appear in your hand with that card. I'm not sure what the odds are of getting any particular colorless card from Transmutation per energy spent, but it seems to be rather high. Hit the other Transmutation. Hit another Panic Button, by the way. Yet again, remove the debuff. I can only draw 5 cards, so... Well, actually, that's wrong. There are burns in my deck. Should have played more Enlightenment or Foresight or whatever. And make it through. No damage. And find a bird face turn, giving us 2 health back whenever we play a power. And Giant Head is back and hungry for vengeance here. Definitely scary. Play 1 whirlwind probably. And like it looks pretty good. We already have these whirlwinds ready to go. Gotta apply vulnerable somehow. Play 1 card so I can transmutation for 4. Nature is fine. Discovery is a really good hit, actually. Comes back around. Could have considered second wind. It wouldn't be good this turn, but could have been good. And like, yeah, look at this. Like, it looks good, right? Just found the Shockwave. I have double tap Whirlwind in my hand, and Pendib on 9. How does this possibly go wrong? Play here actually is double tap Dropkick, I'm pretty sure, over Whirlwind. It's not killing, and I would have liked to draw cards. But I'm just taking 15 here. A bit sad. Maybe Warcry wrong, because it adds a card, and I have Transmutation. I put it back on top. That's kind of strange. Love to have that Stubber Soul in my hand right now. Ew. I can't kill it. The bomb. Yeah, missed a little bit of damage from playing the other cards first. Or the non-attack cards not getting played first. Could have done 3, 5 more damage. Like that. We get a Mango giving us 14 max health. And I'm thinking about this Corruption. I click on it. A nice fast card, letting us play all of our skills out of our hand at will, for the price of never being able to play them again in that fight. Definitely a real downside, but hopefully the fastness will make it worth it. And we have to make it through Act 3 Boss Gauntlet and Act 4 with this deck. Now, the Madman pulls it off. How does he keep getting away with it? Actually full blocking, but I'm also adding 2 wounds. Boy, is that really awkward. I do get to end on a good note here. I get Corruption in play. That way next turn I can play card, still have energy left for Transmutation, and hopefully have a huge turn. Need to find a power here. Perhaps a mistake to play the flex there, but I just wanted to play it and do the thing. I also did find a power. And I realized I actually can't kill it. Or I can't, excuse me. I can't pop Time Warp. I didn't have enough cards that were playable in my hand, so. Awkwardly passing on 11. I'm reading Magnetism right now. I thought it was Mayhem. Which would actually have been worse here, I think, because I would have played a card and immediately, like, done the thing, but... I thought it was Mayhem, so I was being a bit silly. Yeah, I do drink Deck Spot, taking Time Eater seriously. He's gonna beat us up. That was a regular Foresight, sadly. Couldn't pick more than one card. We are splitting already. And so with this Sentinel and 9 remaining cards that I can play in a turn, hopefully I can have a good enough turn to survive next turn. That is what I'm counting on. With this Transmutation Plus in my hand. Maybe find another Panic Button. It's actually not hitting me. So I'd love to just pop the Time Warp here, do some damage. I would have played Strike in hindsight, probably. Heavy Blade's pretty good. And then I whiffed on the Pen Nib. Fly Trip. What I should have done here is... No, never mind. Forethought doesn't do shit. Empty Mind, or what is that card? Deep Breath. Deep Breath is good. Now I can Forethought put things on the bottom of my deck. And I'm getting hit for 63 right now. Found the whirlwind with Pendib, finally. I realized they had the secret weapon after all. So I made it through. And now we're into Wokebird. Definitely a bit scary. Transmutation may generate us random powers that we'll have a very hard time getting rid of. Just rip the double tap whirlwind to start, kill the cultists. And now the boss fight begins. There's a Mayhem. Oh no. Have to play this Mayhem, I think. Get rid of the panic button debuff. Heals me for 2 health also. Real. Should have held finesse. No reason to play it. Already full block. Getting hit for 40. Bit scary. So considering, like, do I play Eruption? Can I play Eruption? Can I kill it this turn is also occurring to me. Or split, I suppose. Probably play Rage first. I should have played Rage first. That's actually a massive mistake. Rage already cost 0, no need to exhaust it there with Corruption. Would have been good to come back around later. The Sentinel's huge here, allowing you to play all these attacks. And could have played the Sever Soul last for Pendib, but I was just trying to block and I knew I was full blocking. Possibly good that I didn't split there because this hand would have been a bummer. Now I can play my powers without worrying. Heal up a bit. Choose an attack. This is from Mayhem, of course. Playing a random card. We are playing Secret Weapon right now. Take a 0-cost bash. Should play Flex. Should really play Flex. Okay. Good. And yeah, no Rage. Very sad. That was massive. And I realize I can live just barely if I play the Fruit Juice. It just saves me. And I have to get out here. Sever Soul got played by Mayhem. And Pendib is one away. I didn't feel like doing math. Possibly broke Pendib for no reason. But math is cringe. Got out. A Deep Pulsing Dread fills the room. And we've somehow made it here with Transmutations in my deck. Very exciting. And yeah, yet again, the upgrades are trash. I have Armaments Plus in my deck. I'm just going to simply rest. And some decent looking things here. Notably, I have a Flex Potion here. That is pretty good. Orange Pellets will allow us to remove the Strength minus debuff. So we just gain a permanent 5 Strength on a turn. And we found a Limit Break as well, so it's going to be extra relevant. And I take a Block Potion. Has the 12 block can matter quite a lot. Remove a strike. And we're looking okay here. Yet again, Transmutation on turn 1. Huge. And Flex Limit Break even. Could have considered keeping the attack there. Hopefully Transmutation creates an attack for me. I should have played Limit Break. That's absolutely maniac behavior. Whoops. Also didn't find an attack, so I'm back to 1 strength. Whoops. That is a massive mistake. Of course, saving the Flex Potion for the heart, that's normal. Yeah. Not ideal. Those are good skills. And so I actually have this combo in my hand. I can Secret Technique for Shockwave to break the debuffs, and then I can Dark Shackles and blocks for 40. My god, that's good. So this is massive. Secret Technique being really good there, of course. And I can even turn around. If I turn around, I actually block for 7. And because it's actually multiplying its base damage when you're turned around, it doesn't do more than... Like, if I had only reduced his strength by 10 exactly there, it would still have hit me for 0 times 5, even though I was facing away from it. It's essentially like you're vulnerable to the person hitting you in the back. And this is a bit awkward looking. But I do have Rage, gotta remember. So I could, like, dual wield Whirlwind right now. Double tap, plus Whirlwind, Whirlwind, Whirlwind. That would be pretty good. In hindsight, if I don't do that here, it's pretty silly. And I even get to do this. Limit Break's now worth it. That only gets 1. Yep. Dual wield goes, I guess. Should have kept the dual wield. I play Transmutation, it seems. Very strange. I just really wanted to click Transmutation. Kind of throwing, to be honest. I can still double tap Whirl and go up to 15 block. Turn back around with a Swift Strike. Then I can entrench, and I'm full blocking. Also, I could have just killed here if I didn't play Transmutation. Also, the bomb was going off. Shout out to you if you actually realized that was happening. Good ol' the bomb. And we get a Strawberry for 7 max health. So a nice healthy amount of life here going into the final boss here. Hoping to pull it off, of course. Not great cards here. Have to be... Alright, has to be said. Corruption is not that important. I have one already. So can't click on that, it seems. Evolve seems pretty good. The heart gives you 5 status cards. And I have the option to do the thing with Flex Spot, but I didn't here. And then I reconsidered after doing so. Oops. So that's a bit awkward. Would have liked to do that. So I don't play Evolve. I hold it for the thing. Orange pellets. Drink the block pot. I know I'm going to do the thing this turn with the Evolve, so I just do that. Could have considered keeping Evolve again, playing Brutality instead for 1 more energy. But we did find Panic Button yet again. And we also cleanse all of our debuffs from the heart, so we're no longer frailed, and we are no longer weakened or vulnerable, so we took much less damage. Really, really good. Orange Pellets is the absolute star of this run. Orange Pellets, Sharon's Ashes, Gambling Chip, and of course CHEM-X. The really big ones here. And Nib certainly got in there as well. And Meat on the Bone, absolutely insane. Can't forget about him. So considering, do I play Corruption here? And just Sever Soul? Pretty good. Clear some path for the Transmutation coming up. And probably the last turn that I could possibly die right here. Make sure I can get out here, so do a big Transmutation. Yet again, I find the panic button. My god. Am I high rolling? I don't even know. I honestly don't even know. And I have some bomb going off soon, and I'm probably able to get Pen Nib up to 9 for next turn, so I can just whirlwind for the kill. So just want to do as much damage as I can here. I can actually duplicate the drop kick here with the rage. And I can't quite vulnerable it here. Don't have a double tap. And so the vulnerable's going to run out. If I try to apply vulnerable now, it'll just consume the artifact charge. It's no big deal, I think. Could probably consider just playing Sephir's Soul here, to be honest. I rip it, and that's a 260 damage whirlwind for the kill. Very cool 55-minute run there. A lot of nonsense going on. Sharon's Ash is dealing 800 damage. That's 34 a fight on average. That's pretty good. Meat on the Bone healing for 156. That's pretty insane. The boot dealing a whopping 3 damage. It tried its best. Wasn't the time for the boot. It has its moments. So yeah, very weird, wacky deck there. Playing a lot of X-cost cards that I don't normally play, and it ended up working out for me. Very happy that I'm able to kind of go off my normal path and still win pretty comfortably. Some close calls there, but I was never like blundering really or anything to the point of throwing the run. So, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and as always, have a beautiful day.